just need a reminder how good things really are. It may seem like a greener path on the other side of that fence. It may seem like a better road taken to get to your destination, but that's not always the case. Sunday was a great reminder that NASCAR is in a great place and why I think it'll never be overtaken by Formula One. Let's talk about it here on Stuck in the Catch Fence. Welcome in, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful Tuesday or whatever day you're watching this. Sunday was a reminder to me that sometimes when I think NASCAR could do this, that things could be changed and done that way, I just need to be reminded, as I got a bug flying on my ear, that we actually have it better than maybe we always perceive. In the internet age, it's always great to complain, to go on social media, to never have your face behind your egg profile picture or whatever it is you use, and just tell the world how terrible whatever it is you're rooting for is. But I think that doesn't always have to be the case. No, it's the most popular stance, but it doesn't mean it's the actual reality of things. This coming weekend, Sunday, Formula One will begin again. Last year, Formula One had its second best season ever in the United States in terms of viewership, averaging 1.1 million fans per race. That is only second to the previous year, where it had 1.2 million fans average television wise on ESPN per race. Now, there's plenty of things that we as racing fans look to as Formula One when it comes to things that it could improve on from a NASCAR standpoint that we would like to see mirrored or copied. No commercials, a shorter distance for some fans, the better presentation package. All those things make Formula One, at least from a cosmetic standpoint, a much better product. But when I look at Formula One and when I try to compare it to NASCAR, I kind of think of somebody that's been, with the same woman or man having a spouse for a very long time, 20 years, 10 years, I guess now, since you Gen Zs will probably never see that. At times, you see the cheating or wandering eyes boyfriend or spouse, or he's looking at that girl behind him that might end up being the better looking thing that captures his eye right then and right now. I think Americans, when it came to Drive to Survive, were caught in a motorsport moment where they go, maybe a Formula One is the better looking product. Maybe it actually is something that I would like to lust towards. Well, Sunday was a great reminder that NASCAR will never be toppled in terms of entertainment value when it comes to auto racing here in the United States. And I'm here to tell you why that is. Sunday, at a track that we all complained about being reconfigured, now in its third year, produced the third best slash closest finish of all time. In my opinion, it was the greatest race of all time. I will forever remember the 2024 spring race at Atlanta. I actually will remember it as one that I'm disappointed at that I didn't go to, as I've went to the previous 2 years, the spring race at Atlanta. So again, it's another situation to where NASCAR fans were unhappy that something had changed, that something became different. NASCAR with a vision of improving something that they thought they could turn it into something that they've never seen before. And that was indeed the fact, a mile and a half super speedway. But nonetheless, fans got on this website, this social media age, YouTube, Twitter, X, Facebook, whatever it may be, and let NASCAR know how stupid it was, and SMI Motorsports know how stupid it was for changing the track configuration to what was a track that we all really, really liked. Now, couple that with what we've seen previously in Formula One. In 2020, we got to see the Drive to Survive and then the best, probably most competitive season that Formula One has had in the last 15 years between a battle between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. Now that, well, coupled with COVID, was probably the biggest outlier of a season we'll ever see. When you look at Formula One and what exactly it is when it comes to the racing product, yeah, and it's, cosmetically, it's fun to watch. It's very enjoyable. But when it comes to competition, there is nothing that compares to NASCAR. I went and looked, and the closest finish last year was 0.12 seconds last year for Formula One. That was in Australia, and that was a race that ended under the yellow flag. It was not a competitive ending race. The next closest race was 0.81 seconds. So that would be the second closest finish in Formula One all year long, almost an entire second. NASCAR had 18 races last year finish closer than zero point 0.8 seconds. I did the math. It actually had 3 or 4 races that were closer than the 0.12 seconds. I was at one of them, the Yellowwood 500, where Ryan Blaney won by 1.012 seconds over Kevin Harvick in the fall in the playoffs. You see, it's very popular to hate on bands like Creed, to hate on bands like Nickelback. But at the end of the day, they sell millions of copies. Creed just came out of nowhere and had a tour and immediately sold out venues all across the nation. You see, it's popular to hate on NASCAR. It's popular to see that nice little fling walking down the street. But sometimes we need something to remind us that what we have is actually the best product in auto racing and all across the world. The most competitive in all across the world. The most dramatic in all across the world. NASCAR in the circular oval format of racing with sprinkled in road courses now and then is the best racing product that you could have. Does it seem gimmicky to me at times? Sure. Absolutely. There's things that NASCAR does that tries to push the envelope that just doesn't always work. Sometimes the car doesn't always work. That doesn't mean the sport will never have its faults. But I'm telling you, the woman you have at home, the man you have at home will always, almost always, be better than the stranger walking down the street. We lust for things and don't appreciate the things that we already have. NASCAR fans, social media fans, and just culture in general never reflect on just how great we have it. We do it as a country. We try to mirror other countries. Nobody's done it as good as we have. We're always looking for something better, and sometimes it's just okay to walk inside and say, you know what? I'm damn lucky to have it the way we do now. I'm damn lucky and proud to be where I'm at and have what I have. We're not very appreciative of what we do have. We're not very thankful for the things we do have. Now, that doesn't mean to be sedentary and don't ask for things to change in a better way, but to completely overhaul and to completely change things for the sake of change has never lended to better results. Formula One is a popular race style. It attracts people from the higher of highs. That's not what this country was built on. That's not what NASCAR fans are known for. NASCAR was built by people smuggling and building race cars to transfer moonshine. That is the most American thing you can ever think of. Formula One comes to the United States and they put up high fences and use security to make sure that you can't see them practice. And if you do want to see them practice, it costs you about $400. If practice gets canceled, they'll give you a $200 credit that you can use in their own team store, but you don't get a refund. NASCAR, on the other hand, when something happens out of their control, like the clash, they say we're going to move it a day forward, and we're unfortunately unable to change the circumstances when it comes to weather, but you can get in for free, and we're going to give you a refund if you end up having a ticket for Sunday. Formula One, no matter how great it will be for the elite, for the higher class, for the uppities, it will never, ever sustain itself in NASCAR because it is not interwoven into the fabric of what we are as Americans. Now, sure, I enjoy both. I always will. I enjoy every form of racing. I've watched rally cars. I've watched Supercross. I've watched Formula One. Anything that you can imagine. Sometimes I'll even catch some drag racing. But when it comes to this whole notion that the internet is trying to make popular, that Formula One will one day overtake NASCAR, it will not happen. It simply won't. Unless NASCAR goes away from its foundation and spits in the face of the people that actually are bred and built into this sport in terms of their fandom. NASCAR has developed a product that fans can get excited for and can get behind. And if these first two races in 2024 aren't an example of that, then I don't know what is. She may look pretty. She's cosmetically got a lot of stuff going on. You know, the lips are getting filled, the face is getting pushed back, the eyebrows are getting done. She's not as pretty as she looks whenever you watch her on Sunday for 2 hours and you go, wish I would have had that time back. Wish I would have been with the one that's been with me all along. The one where I stood up and screamed as three cars came out of turn four, and what we could only use as a Lightning McQueen moment to where nobody had any idea who won. NASCAR has that ability to do that every single week. And that's why every Sunday I'll be there watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Am I off? Do you think Formula One's going to overtake NASCAR? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think that NASCAR will be the destruction of itself? Let me know. I'll be interested to have your take in the comments. If you've never visited the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. We got all things that we can bring you: race recaps, betting tips, previews, post race shows, the news on a weekly basis, which it will be a very busy news week, I'm sure. All those things. If you want to find other places to support us outside of YouTube, we are on Facebook. If you ever want to donate, you can do that at Patreon, and we also have a Rumble. I appreciate you guys tuning in to this episode of Let's Talk About It. My name's Ryan Peters from here at Stuck in the Catch Fence. We'll be with you. Joe and Travis will be on the show. Join the live shows, join the chat, and more importantly, have a good week, and always, God bless.